Joining NBA Today, the aforementioned Kelsey Mitchell. Congrats on your 34-point performance. What did you have working there in game one for you?
I think it was just about having confidence, for one, leaning on my preparation. And then my teammates, our chemistry, everything we've been through this season, kind of put us in position to really be us.
Kelsey Mitchell finally broke her silence, and she didn't sugarcoat a thing about Caitlin Clark or the Indiana Fever. Every word was caught on camera, and now fans can't stop debating, was it admiration, rivalry, or just the most unfiltered teammate response we've heard in years? Here's the reality: whenever a Fever player steps in front of a microphone, someone is bound to bring up Clark. It doesn't matter what the original topic is, weather, lunch plans, or how bad the traffic was getting to the arena. The conversation always circles back to the rookie who has the whole league buzzing. And this time, it was Mitchell sitting in the spotlight, fielding the inevitable question: has Caitlin Clark truly changed basketball?
And then you bring in Caitlin, who changed the world, changed the dynamic of basketball. And as a friend and as a player, you grow to appreciate her because, certain doors have opened because she's come to the Fever, and you have to respect that. And I love the teammate and person in her because she's accepted it with so much grace and even welcomed us with open arms to, make this thing happen. So I think it just took a lot of big pieces to make, what it is now.
This is the same Kelsey Mitchell who kept the franchise afloat during its bleakest years. The same guard who played through a season where Indiana scraped together just 5 wins, yes, 5, the kind you can count on one hand and still have fingers to spare. She endured that. She shouldered the weight while the rest of the league looked at the Fever like little more than a tune-up game.
I love it because as much, people don't know this about Caitlin, but she has an unbelievable, funny sense of humor. And so I think the tweet was the tweet, but you just have to know CC to know that it's just nothing but love coming from that kid, and her energy and her effort to just kind of support our team is just her way of doing it.
So when Kelsey Mitchell finally opened up about Caitlin Clark, you knew it wasn't going to be some canned response. No empty "she's great, she helps us a lot" cliche. This was raw, genuine, and straight to the point. Mitchell acknowledged what most people already believe but rarely say out loud: Clark hasn't just lifted the Fever, she's altered the game itself. According to Mitchell, Clark shifted the entire dynamic of basketball. That's not light praise, that's a franchise cornerstone publicly admitting the rookie is rewriting history. And here's the kicker: there wasn't even a trace of jealousy. No shade, no subtle digs, no hidden attitude. Just honesty and respect, delivered with the conviction of someone who's seen the game from its lowest point and now recognizes its transformation.
You guys have made the playoffs the last 2. What's been the big turnaround? How have you viewed the way the team has grown organically?
Oh, man, I think a big shout out to the organization taking time to rebuild. I think our draft picks ended up coming big. Lexi Hall was a big draft pick, and then you get Caitlin, and then you get AB. And so you culminate that together with, my experience and having to, go through a couple things before they got there. I think it was just like a match made in heaven, really, because I was, still at a young age to really, vibe and get to know these players for who they were. And then you bring in Caitlin, who changed the world, changed the dynamic of basketball. And as a friend and as a player, you grow to appreciate her because, certain doors have opened because she's come to the Fever, and you have to respect that.
That doesn't mean Kelsey Mitchell downplayed her own worth. She reminded everyone that she's been here through the grind, carrying the rebuild long before Caitlin Clark showed up. And she's right, without Mitchell's scoring and steady presence, Clark wouldn't even have the platform she's on now. Mitchell is one of the league's most overlooked scorers, the quiet backbone of this roster. Think back, when Lexi Hull joined, the Fever were still awful. 5 wins felt like progress, and Mitchell had to sit through pressers pretending it was acceptable. Then came Aaliyah Boston. Then Clark. The culture started to shift. Through it all, Mitchell adjusted. No sulking, no trade demands, no complaints, just embracing the change and proving her value in a new era.
God forbid Asia doesn't drop 40 for us. I thought it was really poor. Really poor.
Kelsey Mitchell, what about the way she was playing today made it so difficult?
Well, one, she made every freaking shot, it seemed like. Long twos, short twos, threes, get the free throw line.
That's why Kelsey Mitchell's words hit different. When she says Caitlin Clark changed the game, it isn't hype, it's a veteran speaking from experience. Mitchell has lived through both versions of the Fever, the embarrassment of 5-win seasons and the rebirth that's now selling out arenas. She knows exactly which version brings TV deals, national attention, and money into players' pockets. What makes it even better is the way Mitchell framed it. She didn't just call Clark a teammate or a colleague, she called her a friend. She praised Clark for embracing the roster, handling the spotlight with grace, and making everyone feel included. That matters, because we've all seen superstars in other leagues turn into divas and create tension. Clark didn't do that. She shared the shine. And Mitchell? She's thriving in it. Her scoring is up, the Fever are in the playoff hunt, and she's finally getting recognition that should have come years ago. The irony is clear, Clark's arrival forced the league and the media to notice what Mitchell has been doing all along. Without Clark, maybe she keeps quietly dropping 20+ in front of empty seats. With Clark, the whole world sees it. And Mitchell respects that. Then came a curveball. Mitchell addressed the fine tweet. When Clark joked about paying her own fine, the internet exploded. Critics said it was reckless, some even called it disrespectful. But inside the Fever locker room? They loved it. Mitchell said it showed a side of Clark the public rarely sees, her humor, her ability to laugh at herself. To teammates, it wasn't drama. It was personality. Outsiders might dissect every word, but the women sharing that locker room knew it was just Caitlin being Caitlin. That moment proved the Fever's chemistry is real and tight.
You were an MVP finalist this year with our own Chiney Ogwumike even saying that you had the best season of any guard this year in the league. What has it been like to get that kind of recognition and get your flowers?
Oh, I appreciate it. I've been to a lot throughout the course of my career with Indiana Fever. It's been like my longest, ever. So it's for me, it's a humbling experience to kind of see myself make waves from where it started to where it is now. And just kind of respect the game, lean on the game as far as creating bonds and friendships. And now you get to see us do that now, a couple years.
Kelsey Mitchell has been through it all. The heartbreak seasons. The 5-win campaigns. The endless rebuilds. She's the player who carried Indiana through years when the Fever weren't even considered a threat, let alone a playoff contender. And now, just when the franchise has been resurrected by the arrival of Caitlin Clark, Mitchell has finally spoken out. And let's just say, she didn't hold back. Every word was caught on camera. Every sentence felt like a shot of reality. And fans across the league are buzzing. Is it love? Is it rivalry? Or is it the most brutally honest teammate answer we've heard in years? Whatever you call it, Mitchell's interview didn't just change the conversation around Clark. It rewrote the narrative around the entire Fever franchise. Let's get one thing straight. This wasn't one of those cookie-cutter, she's great, she's helping us a lot teammate responses reporters love to milk. Mitchell has been around too long for that. She knows fluff when she hears it, and she refuses to dish it out herself. Instead, she admitted what the world has been whispering for months. Caitlin Clark didn't just change the Fever, she changed basketball. Period. And she didn't stop there. Mitchell, a player who has survived the worst years in team history, looked into a camera and made it clear, Clark didn't just bring attention, she flipped the entire dynamic of the league. That's not hype. That's not PR spin. That's a battle-tested veteran acknowledging reality. Why does this hit so hard? Because Mitchell has seen both sides. She's lived the embarrassment. She's lived the rebirth. She knows what it felt like to play in front of half-empty arenas while opponents treated Indiana like a scrimmage. And now she knows what it feels like to walk into a building and see every seat filled. She knows what sells tickets. She knows what brings TV deals. She knows what puts money in everyone's pockets. And she knows Caitlin Clark is the reason the Fever went from a punchline to the storyline of the WNBA season. When Mitchell says it, it carries weight. Here's the kicker, though, the part that shocked fans the most. Mitchell didn't deliver her comments with bitterness. There was no side eye, no passive-aggressive undertone, no jealousy. Just respect. She even went further, calling Clark not just a teammate, not just a colleague, but a friend. That word, friend, hit differently. Mitchell praised Clark for how she welcomed the team, how she handled the spotlight, and how she shared the shine. And that matters. Because we've seen it before, superstars in other leagues acting like divas, making life miserable for their teammates. But Clark didn't do that. She let everyone eat. And right now, Mitchell is feasting. Her profile has never been higher. She's dropping points, pushing Indiana into the playoffs, and finally earning the national recognition she deserved years ago. The irony? Clark's arrival forced the league to notice Mitchell's greatness. Without Clark, maybe Mitchell keeps putting up 25 a night in silence. With Clark, the whole world sees it. And Mitchell isn't mad about that, she's embracing it. Remember when Clark joked about paying her own fine? The internet nearly imploded. Some fans loved it, others dragged her for it, and critics claimed it was classless. But what did the actual Fever players think? To them, that tweet wasn't disrespect. It was funny. It showed Clark's personality, the part the public rarely gets to see. While outsiders dissected every word, teammates were laughing in the locker room. Mitchell's reaction? Relax. It's just Caitlin being Caitlin. And that's the difference between teammates and outsiders. To the world, it looked like controversy. To Indiana, it looked like chemistry. But here's where the story gets even bigger. Mitchell didn't just stop with compliments for Clark. She made it clear that the Fever's success isn't about one player. It's about the core four: Mitchell, Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Lexi Hull. That's the group. That's the future. That's the dynasty blueprint. And Mitchell didn't just support it, she practically promised it. She hinted she'd even take a pay cut to keep the squad intact. Think about that. One of the best scorers in the league willing to sacrifice money to keep a roster together. That doesn't happen in pro sports. That's rare. Why? Because Mitchell knows the Fever are sitting on a gold mine. This isn't just about playoff runs anymore. This is about legacy. About branding. About rewriting the hierarchy of the entire WNBA. For years, Indiana was the team you circled for an easy win. Now they're the team opponents dread. Here's the message Mitchell delivered loud and clear. This isn't Caitlin Clark and the Fever. This is the Fever. Take Clark out and Mitchell drops 30. Take Mitchell out and Boston goes beast mode. Take Boston out and Hull locks down on defense. It's balance. It's depth. It's terrifying for opponents who built rosters expecting another Aces dynasty. Mitchell even threw some subtle shade while making her point. Talking about rebuilding, draft picks, and surviving the hard years wasn't just filler. It was a reminder, don't forget me in this story. And she's right. Without Mitchell keeping this team afloat during the dark days, Indiana doesn't even get the chance to draft Boston or Clark. She was the bridge from irrelevance to relevance. She deserves her flowers, too. That's what makes this dynamic so compelling. On one hand, you've got Clark, the global superstar, changing the sport, shattering records, bringing in viewers who've never watched a WNBA game. On the other, you've got Mitchell, the local backbone, the scorer who kept the franchise from collapsing when no one else cared. Individually, they're dangerous. Together, they're historic. That balance, that partnership, is exactly what Mitchell highlighted. And it's why Fever fans are obsessed with her honesty. Social media lit up the second her interview hit the air. Clips went viral. Fans praised her for being real, classy, and refreshingly unbothered. Here's the wild part, Mitchell basically confirmed what Fever fans have been whispering all year. This team isn't just a good story. They're building a dynasty. Nobody saw it coming this fast. Just a couple years ago, Indiana was a guaranteed win for the rest of the league. Now they're punching Vegas in the mouth and exposing weaknesses in every contender they face. The difference? Chemistry. Mitchell's words proved it. She respects Clark. Clark respects Mitchell. Both respect Boston and Hull. No egos, no jealousy, no implosions. Just balance and trust. That's why Indiana looks unstoppable when it matters most. The fine tweet wasn't just about laughs. It revealed something deeper. Mitchell described Clark's humor as unbelievable. That's not just a compliment, it's a window into the locker room. Clark isn't just a scorer. She's a glue player. She keeps things light. She makes the grind bearable. And that's leadership in disguise. The public sees highlights, controversies, and box scores. Mitchell sees the smiles, the inside jokes, the human side of a superstar. And that's why she calls Clark a friend. You can't fake that. Mitchell wasn't just giving compliments, she was issuing a warning. Imagine Boston with another year of growth. Hull with another year of defensive dominance. Clark in her third season, smarter, sharper, and more confident. And Mitchell, still one of the league's best scorers, still holding it all together. That's not a team. That's a nightmare for the rest of the WNBA. And Mitchell knows it. That's why she hinted the Fever are planning to run it back, same core, a few tweaks, another push. That's how dynasties start. At the end of the day, Kelsey Mitchell's comments weren't just sound bites. They were a declaration. She respects Caitlin Clark. She embraces her impact. And she's all in on the Fever's future. No jealousy. No bitterness. No drama. Just honesty. And that's why this story blew up. Because while the outside world keeps trying to paint Mitchell and Clark as rivals, the truth is the opposite. They're partners. They're friends. And together, they're the most dangerous duo in basketball. The Fever don't just have talent, they have chemistry, balance, and belief. That's what makes them terrifying. That's what makes them different. And that's what makes Mitchell's words echo far beyond one interview. Because if she's right and all signs point to her being right, the WNBA isn't just witnessing a good team. It's witnessing the birth of a dynasty. And that's not hype. That's reality. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next story.